Well, this morning we're going to have an interesting conversation. We're going to be doing, every Thursday we try to get in touch with people of different professions and bring you a profession and get a bit deep into the conversation about what happens within that particular profession. This morning we're going to be having a discussion about fashion design.
That's right. So we have a fashion designer, and before we even introduce her, the first time I met this lady, she I think she had finished fashion design school maybe about a year or a year and a half prior to the time I met her, and I was blown away by her creativity. We have a lot of people in this space who are doing amazing things with fashion, but there are also people who don't understand that it's not just creativity. There's passion, there's drive, and even when it comes to creativity, you constantly have to take it to the next level. And this young lady just blew my mind. The things she was doing, combining other arts with her work, every piece is a showstopper with her. So we have Avonsige.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Fantastic. It's good to have you back here.
Thank you.
Yeah, the last time you came, you were talking about a charity project that you were doing and all that. How did that go?
It went amazing.
Wow.
Yes, because we got a lot of home support, and the organizations we talked to, they were, they were there to support us 100%, and the kids were happy. That's the most important thing, and we were able to make our donations to them as well.
Nice.
So, yeah.
How does one transition from having an idea to design an outfit to actually having a fashion house, an entire fashion house? Take us through that.
That's actually very broad, but I'll try and scale it down for you.
So scale it down.
Yes, so interestingly, for every fashion designer, first of all, you have to have the passion because it's a long road. And then we have something we call a design brief, actually. So it's a process from the idea development stage to the stage at which the outfit is actually complete. So what happens is that with every creative person, we are inspired by something, to even start the creating process. So whatever you pick as your inspiration, you have to create something we call a mood board in fashion design. That's where you put all your ideas into one space so that you're always, when you look at it, you're inspired to do something. And then you start to break down that idea, that mood board, into shapes and then lines and space, being guided by what we call principles and elements of design. That's what helps us in the process. So you have to do all of that, and then you have to start putting those elements and designs in together to be able to start creating form to the point at which, you start to see your design coming into life.
But at this point, have you started sewing anything yet?
Yes, a lot.
Okay.
No, you mean in terms of
in the process?
No, you haven't.
Okay.
At that point, it's just you have to do a lot of research.
Okay.
Yes, you have to do a lot of research and a lot of experimentation. Yeah, that's the point at which you have to do all the groundwork. You have to get a color scheme, your pattern pieces ready. Then you have to do your fitting, like your toil, your drapings of the designs you want to do before you actually start doing the actual design.
It's a whole process.
It's a whole process.
It's a whole process. But so a lot of the time when we think of fashion designing, people think, okay, you have some fabric, some material, I saw this style, let me just cut, and then if I have some patterns, maybe cover the patterns, and then we call it a day, we have a dress. But from what you're saying, it's an extremely detailed creative process.
Exactly.
I find that very interesting.
Yes, and it's a full-time job. It's a full-time job. You can't do it part-time. It's full-time. Yes.
I see. So talk us through that, the initial stages where you started, and what was it that made you say, okay, you know what, I'm going to spend the rest of my career, my years doing this? What was that for you?
Yeah, so my parents, when I was growing up, my parents were very supportive of me because I knew I used to draw. My other siblings, they were into the science, reading, but I was always drawing. So my dad told me, I know you're going to do business and you're going to do something that has to do with designing somehow. So I just got motivated by that, and then, it just manifested in my studies because I did visual arts and secondary school.
Okay.
I went on to KNUST. I majored in textiles. That's where I had my degree.
You're one of the lucky ones.
Yeah.
You're one of the lucky ones.
Because my parents supported me. They
support.
did. And then after I was done, I told them that I want to, push on. I want to get more practical, experience. And then so I enrolled in another school, Rios Originate, and that was where it was just a blast for me. That was the point at which I knew that was what I wanted to do. Yes, that was the point for me.
So you've actually gone through the entire process of becoming a designer. That's another thing, because again, a lot of people feel that anything creative, you don't have to go to school. If you have talent, then you go ahead and do it. That's true. What people think.
Yes, a lot of people think
and I want people to, one of the things that excited me when our producer said, let's do a fashion designer today, was the fact that we're talking about fashion design as a profession. Because when we think about professions, we don't think about things like this.
No, we don't add fashion design.
As a nation.
It's a passion.
It's a passion.
And you just do it on
that's
the
it.
side.
It can be a side gig. You go to school, you do, and then if you want, then you add the fashion. So you did visual arts in secondary school, and I'm saying this especially for our viewers who have children who want to take this path or who would like to get onto this path themselves. So you did visual arts in secondary school.
I did.
Then you did textiles at the university, and then you went on to fashion school, which was more of the practical aspect of it.
Exactly.
That is amazing.
Wow.
Yes.
And how? So I mean, clearly, you said when you were younger, you had the talent. You were sketching, you were drawing. Your parents picked up on that. But how has actually learning the craft in a structured environment influenced your work?
So, when I was at Rios, it was there was a bit of competition because everybody wanted to bring out the best designs. And for me, I've always wanted to be different. Because when I'm with my colleagues and I see what they're doing, and then I don't fall into that same space, so it just made me want to learn more about what was going on in the outside world. So I just got a lot of experience from what was going on outside in terms of, I didn't limit myself to just fashion, because I was learning metal art, I was learning ceramics. There were so many things I was learning, so that I could just bring all of that energy into my fashion. That's how come sometimes you see my designs and they are like, some people don't understand where I get my concepts from, but that's the thing. You have to learn, like, outside the box. You have to step outside the box.
So let's talk about some of the things the different aspects of fashion, because it's not every fashion designer who even wants to focus on, let's say, business or corporate wear. It's not every designer who wants to do bridal wear. How do you determine where you want to go and what you want to do with your craft?
So it's actually a personal journey, because I remember when I was in Rios, when I was doing my practicals, that was when it dawned on me, because I always told my instructor that I love white. I want to do white-inspired clothes, But as to which area I wanted to, it wasn't specific.
We have some of your pieces on the screen.
Oh, actually. Thank you. That's amazing. So it started from there, and then my big sister, fortunately for me, she was getting married, and she said, "Tina, I want you to do my gown for me." And I told her I don't have the experience. She was like, "No, you have to do it." And then I did it, and then it just became like that. Then I realized, okay, the white pieces, that actually maybe was directing the path of a bridal, stuff. And I love detailing. And bridal stuff is about detailing. Yes. So I just found myself in that niche, and I think that's where I want to be. I'm very comfortable.
And I know you do a lot of pieces for concept photo shoots, just creative shoots, and it's interesting. So I've had a personal experience with her, in fact, several. And when you tell her, okay, I'm going to this place, or I have this photo shoot, I need this, she is not going to say, "Oh, bring money." She takes it as a project for a portfolio. It's so amazing, and like creatives meeting creatives. But I think you have some of your concept pieces on the screen as well.
Yes.
So this is, I'm guessing, Egyptian inspired.
Exactly. Yes. I was paying homage to our queens in Africa.
Our Nefertitis, our Santois.
Exactly. I just had them.
Concept.
Beautiful
and again,
stuff,
there's white.
It's white. Exactly. It's white.
Ooh. Love. Is that a whole headpiece?
Yeah, it's a whole headpiece.
So you built the headpiece?
Yeah, I did.
What did you use to do it?
Mostly I work a lot with paper.
Okay.
The different types of paper on the market. So depending on what the kind of effect I want to achieve, I know the kind of paper to.
So you don't just limit yourself to the fabric that we would think you use for clothes. You use paper.
I do metal
look at the balloons.
too.
Is that a dress made out of balloons?
Yes, a dress made out of balloons.
So what was happening here? Somebody wanted this concept?
She just told me it's my birthday.
Okay.
So I want something, interesting and bubbly. And I thought, instead of the usual balloon decorations, let's use it to make a dress.
You be the decoration.
Exactly.
That's really cool.
Okay.
Cool.
Talk to us about the business side of things, because at the end of the day, to be able to grow from being the individual person as a fashion designer with the ideas and all of that, and then to go and have a fashion house, you need to be able to have the finances to scale up and all of those things. Talk to us about how that journey has been.
For me, because I had that support from home, it was quite easy for me because, not quite easy. Let me just say, because I remember after my graduation collection I did, I was contacted by a photographer, a very good photographer in Ghana. He said, I really like your stuff. Why don't you come to the studio? Let's shoot the concept well instead of it being on a runway. And then that was it for me. So he brought me on board and introduced me to other people who are also very influential in the industry. Yes, and then I started working with them, and eventually I started to grow, and get the attention. Exactly. So one thing he told me was that if you are good, sometimes you don't need to spend. You can collaborate with people.
It's good advice.
Very good advice.
It's good advice, yeah.
Stellar advice. Yeah.
Exactly. So I usually tell my interns right now that just do your best.
Yeah.
And then you would have to spend at a point. But if your work is really good, people will contact you. They'll tell you, come, let's shoot. Come, I have a model, let's do this. But yet again, that's the concept part of my work. But then when it comes to the bridal aspect, where I have to make money out of like that area, that part is difficult. It's very difficult because managing your finances, it was hard for me, but I got help.
Okay.
I got help. I spoke to people who were already in the industry, and then they told me if you can't do it on your own, get people who are already in the business and let them help you out.
Okay.
Yes. So that's also another very important advice. Like, don't put all the the work on you.
Collaborate.
Collaborate, and then have other people also come on board because it's very important.
And I think that's a general business principle.
I think so.
Partnerships, collaborations, and then you bring a little, I bring a little.
Don't try to do everything yourself.
Because somebody may have machines, somebody may have finances, somebody may have space, and or personnel, and then we all work together and we build something beautiful.
And I think that one of the things that you kept saying is you went to talk to this person and you went to talk to that person. I think that one of the things that I learned, coming up doing my photography was I always wanted to talk to people.
Absolutely.
To say, what do you think? What should I do? Where should I go? And I think that that's a brilliant thing. Talk to us about the importance of mentorship and seeking advice in terms of short-circuiting, or not short-circuiting, but rather shortening your journey, shortening the whole trip, because people have been there before.
That's very true, because so many mistakes that I made, even though I had people up there who were, helping me out in terms of direction and then the kind of decisions to make, I still made some mistakes, which have eventually shaped me.
And you're allowed to.
Exactly, I'm allowed to. So I take it very, very highly, because right now I have 5 girls under me that I'm mentoring. And then
That's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot. And they still want to come. But I have to cut it short, because I tell them that it's very important. I don't want them to also make the same mistakes, because I had that, I had people to mentor me, so I would do it for you. But I would try and help you to cut down on the mistakes that you could have made.
Absolutely.
In
Fantastic.
So it's just about...
Tina, thank you so much.
Thank
you so much. You're fantastic.
Thank you.
So some messages have come through from our viewers who are watching. Ifwa Intema says, her pieces are beautiful. Where is she located? So where are you located?
Wow. So I am in Osu on the Charles Street. And you can just type in Avonsige Fashion House on Google Maps.
Okay.
It will bring you straight to my atelier.
Somebody says, can you mentor me?
She should just stay in touch because, yes, when I sign off with those under me, I would discount it.
What are your social media handles so people can find you?
So on Instagram, it's Avonsige_. On Facebook, it's Avonsige. And on Twitter, it's Avonsige.
Super.
Yes.
All right.
Well, we've been speaking with Augustina Avonsige of the Avonsige Fashion.
Yeah, I never even knew her name was Augustina. I always hear Tina or Avonsige, so today is Tina.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Hi there. We hope you enjoyed the show.
Make sure to subscribe, like, comment, and share with your friends.
This is Breakfast Daily on City TV.
Join the Breakfast Daily team Monday through Fridays from 7:30 a.m. to 10. Join us for breakfast daily, only on City TV.